Turns out, as we switch branches of government here in Washington, ethics might be a concern for Supreme Court justices on both sides of the political spectrum. The Associated Press now says Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor's staff prodded colleges and libraries to buy her books. Between book royalties and her salary, Justice Sotomayor has earned nearly $4 million. Pretty incredible. Ian Samuel understands ethics, former law clerk for Justice Antonin Scalia. Look, it's always fun to do the back and forth of the both sides deal. But at some level, if all of a sudden the American people stop lionizing Supreme Court justices and say they're just people who get to the court and they were good in law school and they're really smart and they're a reliable political vote, and then they cash in, that's not good for any of us, is it?
Well, it's not good, although I would push back a little bit and suggest that what Justice Sotomayor is doing is, first of all, explicitly allowed by the Supreme Court's rules. She's selling books. Her memoir, My Beloved World, was actually out at the same time that I clerked for Justice Scalia. He had a book out at the exact same time called Reading Law, The Interpretation of Legal Texts. I'll let you guess which one was a better seller. But Supreme Court justices, Justice Breyer has done the same thing. Justice Stevens, I think after he retired, wrote a book. Justice Rehnquist, has written sorts of things. All sorts of things like this have been done by the court over the years. I don't think there's actually anything particularly wrong with Supreme Court justices writing books and publishing them and selling them for money.
Right. Okay. Granted. Okay. And that's one way of looking at it. This is from the AP article. In one instance in 2019, a court staffer pressured a public library in Oregon to purchase more books than just 250 copies of her book. Just asked for an event with the justice, arguing it was necessary to accommodate the expected crowd. This is a library in Oregon who was asked to purchase more than 250 books. Now, this isn't somebody, this library in Oregon did not have business before the court, but at some point it kind of feels not like hard corruption, but like soft corruption, kind of like taking a ride on a billionaire's private jet. May not be illegal, but it just seems beneath what we would think that these people would act like.
I don't know. Does it? My understanding is that the reason that library was asked to do that is they were holding a big event at which there were going to be a lot of people, and there were supposed to be like copies of the book available. I don't think they were being encouraged to purchase like 1,000 copies of the book for their personal lending library. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But the idea, I think, is that this is completely above board. That was a public event at which books were being sold for money, and the justice was speaking. I guess I'm having a harder time seeing what is exactly supposed to be wrong about that. I mean, you get the book, you pay the money, you get the real book. My mother's an author. I've never really thought about her as engaged in soft corruption either. Granted, she's not a Supreme Court justice, but I guess I don't really see the conflict of interest or what public value is being betrayed exactly by Supreme Court justices selling books. Now, Michael Ludig, who used to be a federal judge on the Fourth Circuit, he was a Scalia clerk too. He's argued that justices shouldn't be engaged in selling books at all, right? And if that's the rule, that if the ethics rules were changed so that they were not going to get that kind of outside income, that would be one thing. But the ethics rules do explicitly allow this, and all sorts of justices do it.
And you've been consistent, unlike most people, about this issue, and you defended Clarence Thomas from the very beginning on this. So we got to give you that credit.
That's true. I love them
Ian,
all.
that says a lot about you in good ways. It's good to see you as always. Thank you.
You too.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.